Shout out to Kalshi for sponsoring Mets Daily. Use that code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. Sunday's Mets win reminds us why we love baseball, why we love the Mets, why we love the Subway Series, because those are the kind of games that you watch Gary's call over and over, or you watch Jake Brown Live's call over and over on social media. It's the kind of ending that you live for, that ends in Subway Series lore. You think about David Wright's walk-off on Mariano. You think about Matt Franco's walk-off. You think about Ahmed Rosario's walk-off at Yankee Stadium in a Mets uniform as the Mets were the home team in the COVID year. You think about all the crazy Subway Series moments, the 11th walk-off Mets win in Subway Series history, and it was special. I mean, the team was dead in the water. I mean, you want to talk about a team that probably did not deserve to win. It would be New York Mets on Sunday, who put in the human white flag and Sean Manaea in the tie game, who blew it, who had Bo Bichette drop a pop-up to add to what has just been futile play for Bo Bichette. I mean, the Mets, shocking to be in that game and then to tie that game with none other than Tyrone Taylor, who came in, with a classic lefty coming in, Taylor pinch hitting for Melendez moment in this game, and then Taylor hits one that stays fair, ties the game, and then A.J. Ewing, making his magic happen on the bases. But Carson Bench, second walk-off of the week. This one, a second baseman, shortstop, a.k.a. outfielder playing shortstop because they had 5 infielder collision. Oh, you had too many cooks in the kitchen, too many infielders on the infield, and the Mets win the game and take 2 out of 3. This is where you brag in the group chat. This is where you brag to your Yankee fan friends. This is what's so great about the Subway Series and why I went for a 26th year in a row. And it went from, God, I'm glad I didn't go today because one, it was super hot on Sunday. It's hot again today. For a big boy, that's tough. It went from that to, God damn it, I'm so mad I didn't go. Like, it's one of those games that your friends tell you they went, and you were like, I debated going, but it was way too hot out, and now you wish you went. Well, I wish I went. What a finish on Sunday. What a miraculous win. And listen, that's a 5-1 homestand. Still 6 games under 500, but the Mets creeping back in the conversation of relevancy here with a big road trip ahead. You're talking about 7 games, 4 against the Nationals in D.C., and then 3 against the Marlins. You got to take care of business here, guys. You have got to take care of business. You got to go 5. If you go 5-2, you're 3 under, you're creeping closer to 500, you're back in the conversation. But after what you did on this homestand, you cannot go to D.C. now and lose 3 out of 4. At the very least, you have to split, but you really should take 3 out of 4 and then 2 out of 3 and then come home Memorial Day and talk about a team that is interesting again, despite all the injuries. But this was that first step, and nothing should propel you more than beating your crosstown rival in front of sellout crowds all weekend. That, by the way, was probably 50-50, maybe 60-40, but a lot of Yankee fans, it felt Friday, Saturday like a 50-50 split. Yankees win Friday, Mets win Saturday, and then Sunday, the miraculous win. And, small ball playing a factor again. A.J. Ewing's bunt, like Hayden Sanger's squeeze the other day, like all these little things adding up to victories that the Mets have to continue doing and keep playing the kids, keep playing these guys. Don't rest them. None of these Slaters, none of these lineups with these bums in it. Get the kids out there. Carson Bench is playing fantastic baseball despite the drop. Defense up and down, but he has been playing a huge role for the Mets winning ways, as A.J. Ewing did in his first week. 5-1 in the A.J. Ewing era. He's played a big part of it. 3 walks Sunday, the sack bunt, which was probably the best, stolen base. He's doing it all Saturday, a steal, but came off the bag. But that was a ticky-tacky play. But great job. Now go take care of the Nationals. You got Christian Scott on the mound tonight. Unfortunately, the Mets, this series, they lose Clay Holmes. And Clay Holmes fractures his tibia. He will be out for a while. I think I spelled it below like a food, charcuterie. Excuse that, early morning, long weekend. But he will be out at least till August. There is a chance he will require surgery. This is just brutal. This is a guy who has an opt-out. So, there's a chance he threw his last. If it's surgery, there's a chance he threw his last inning as a Met, unless he, opts back in, which he might. But this was a guy that was bound for the All-Star team this year, was pitching fantastic, was in the Cy Young conversation. Now, very early, that could change. But Clay Holmes, one of the few David Stern signings that you can commend. And now he is out as well as he gets hit by a ball and is out. I mean, the Mets just cannot catch a break. They're catching the breaks in terms of everyone breaking a bone, but they're not catching breaks in terms of luck right now. And it's frustrating because this rotation, already with Manaea being terrible, which we'll talk about, already with Kodai Senga being terrible and now hurt, already with David Peterson relegated to the bullpen. We got to credit David Peterson for a good job Saturday out of the pen. The Brazoban-Peterson duo, they'll probably go with that again. But now you got to think about, all right, no Clay Holmes, next man up. What do we do? It's not going to be Jack Wenninger immediately. Jack Wenninger exited the game Sunday early. I don't believe it was an injury. It was just ineffectiveness, and it doesn't line up with the days on Wednesday with him pitching. What the Mets are probably going to do is Tobias Myers. They're probably going to stretch out Myers. He's obviously been a starter before for Milwaukee. You thought the Mets would go a little bit sooner to Myers, but I think he's been good out of that bullpen as kind of a gadget guy, multi-inning reliever. But they're in a position where they're in dire straits, and that's probably the move. The other move that I think they will consider for Wednesday, now we don't know yet as we wake up Monday morning, we'll probably know maybe tomorrow at some point, is Zach Thornton. Thornton, 6 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts in AAA his last outing. He is a lefty, which the Mets don't have in the rotation right now. I mean, unless you want to include Peterson, although he's been coming out of the pen. Do they go with the young Thornton as a lefty, maybe to even make a few spot starts here until maybe Senga returns? I think you got to consider that, right? Why not do a Myers-Thornton back-to-back? Have Thornton come up here and replace him. Gerber replace him for now out of the bullpen. But if I'm the Mets, I'm considering, 3 innings Thornton, 3 innings Myers. Why not give this kid a try? He's been pitching really well in AAA. He is a lefty. I say give him a try if I'm the Mets. I don't think it would hurt to give Thornton a try, but really you feel for Clay Holmes, man. You really do. Making predictions has been kind of tough, right? But the Mets are hot, so maybe you got to predict the Mets, right? Baseball season is here, and you can trade every game on Kalshi. The New York Mets, they are on a streak. They are back. They are trading at a probability right now, if you're the New York Mets, at just around 3%, meaning you get a boatload of money if the Mets end up winning the damn World Series. So why not take the risk? They're at 2% right now, 2.7%. So $100 trade will pay out $34.67 with a win. The Mets today against the Nationals are trading at a probability of about 56%, which means a $100 trade will get you $170 if they win. You can pick any MLB market. And Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. Well, the Mets won't be able to trade Jorge Polanco because he's not playing. Jorge Polanco is quickly becoming Jed Lowry 2.0. Now, Carlos Mendoza said he will need to manage the Achilles pain because it doesn't seem to be going away. The wrist is fine. Now it's about the bursitis and the Achilles. There's no timetable yet. We've seen him in and out of batting practice here and there. The Mets are in a position where you either shut him down or make him the DH. I know, base running is still part of being DH, but if they feel his bat is good enough and the Achilles is not affected by him swinging, make him the DH. And if he gets hurt in the bases, then you shut him down at this point. But they got to make a decision. He can't play first. If he's dealing with the Achilles, he can't be on his feet. Have him be your DH. Keep playing Vientos at first. Vientos has been fine there. I think Vientos has earned playing time with the way he's hitting right now. But, either shut him down or make him DH. I'm sick and tired of the every week, oh, he's feeling better. Oh, he's feeling worse. Oh, he's feeling better. Make up your damn mind because, if it's not going to get better, but he's good enough to hit, have him hit. But this is looking like a colossal failure. We've mentioned it. Murakami, you missed on Akamoto. The one that just eats me is Miguel Andujar, man. I mean, that was so – and he's playing first base, third base, which the Mets could use right now at third baseman. He's playing third base. He's been doing a good job in San Diego for $4 million. You really missed out by not signing Miguel Andujar. I mean, that was such an easy move. You could have threw a couple more million to outbid the Padres, and I'm sure Andujar would have came back to New York where he started with the Yankees, would have came to the Mets, but they didn't do it. So if I'm the Mets, at some point they're going to have to come to a decision here of shut him down or make him a DH. Forget about him playing first base. Forget about it. You're at a point you can't – if it's that bad, don't have him out there in the field. Just he's going to have to run the bases, of course, but, you gotta either play him or cook him for the year. I'm getting tired of this with the Roy Polanco. I like the signing at the time. I never thought he wouldn't be able to see the field. The Mets screwed themselves over. Once that Achilles pain in the first week happened, not ILing him was your death sentence. That made no sense that early to keep playing a guy who was clearly hurt, and I think they made it worse by having him still out there. So I don't know when that story will end. And I don't know when the Sean Manaea story is going to end, but the Mets are in a position where he is unpitchable. And I don't know why. Carlos Mendoza will throw the replay guy under the bus. He'll throw Andy Ibanez under the bus. But he'll say Sean Manaea did a good job for them on Sunday. Sean Manaea did not do a good job for the Mets on Sunday. Giving up multiple runs. Did not have it. Didn't get some help, from Bichette dropping, from the errors, from the mistakes. But didn't get help from his manager, by the way. He didn't throw Harrison under the bus for not challenging that play at third. He came off the bag, just like Ewing did on Saturday. The runner came off the bag at third. That would have been an out, and it might have been one less run on the board. Tyrone Taylor's home run would have been a walk-off if Carlos Mendoza challenged that play at third. I'm sick of this manager asleep at the wheel. He's relying all on his replay guys. He's got to be watching the play too. And I know it's tough to see from the naked eye from that angle where he's standing in the dugout if the runner's out or safe. But sometimes you got to make a decision on your own. And to not use any of these challenges, you don't get those challenges in the offseason. They don't carry over to the next game. That was a position you should use one and get Manaea out of some trouble, make him get one less out, and he didn't do it. So Mendoza's costing him. I know guys, you're not doing back-to-back, blah, blah, blah. Using Manaea as a human white flag in a tie game. That's inexcusable to put him in the sixth inning in a tie game. So Peralta was okay. Left guys on. Again, his bugaboo, not getting through the sixth inning and leaving it to the bullpen, which the runs get charged to him. The bullpen gives him up. So, it's Manaea madness. They owe him $43 million, $25 next year, still another $18 this year. You're at a position where you have to have him consult the doctor for the bone chips. And I said this. I was on WFAN with Lori Rubinstein last night. And I said, you either eat the money or you have him get the doctor and the bone chips removed. Therese Skubel's doing it, the best pitcher in the game. You're Sean Manaea. Maybe he's fine, and maybe it's just ineffectiveness. And if that's the case, you can't really phantom IL him. But wasting a roster spot on a mop-up pitcher, he's got nothing right now. And I don't know if he would accept a rehab assignment. I don't even know if that's possible for Sean Manaea at this point of his career. A demotion, I should say. But you can't keep him on the roster. He's hurting the team. And I feel bad. In some ways I feel bad. Other ways I'm like, bro, get it together. Because they love him in the clubhouse, but that doesn't get you. You're getting paid $25 million. He doesn't have it. And the Mets are in a position where they might just have to eat the 43 and wave goodbye to Sean Manaea. But I think they like him in that clubhouse. They don't want to do that. But it feels to me they're just wasting a roster spot. And because of the money attached to him. And you have Steve Cohen as the owner. You shouldn't be in that position anymore. You might have to chalk it up as an L and use next year as they deferred one of the years. So you say next year, hey, that's the deferral. We'll eat that money. We deferred you. We'll pay that, 8 years, 10 years down the road. I forgot what year the deferral kicks in, but I think it's 2035 or something like that. We'll eat that. We'll pay him down the road. Hopefully after we won a World Series by then. But, man, tough to see because you root for Sean Manaea. You like him, but I can't keep making excuses for the guy. He stinks. He stinks right now. And Mets got to cut him. Unless he wants to get the bone chips fixed, put him on the aisle, shut him down, and maybe he has that fixed and he comes back and he's better than ever. And maybe it's a great redemption story, but right now there's no redemption story. He's got nothing, and I don't feel confident with him out there. But I do feel confident that we'll be back tomorrow on May 19th here on Mets Daily. Subscribe to the show below. Smash that thumbs up. Hit that comment button. We'll read your comments on tomorrow's show. Mets, Nationals, game 1 of 4. Got to take 3 or 4, guys. Keep the momentum going. I feel some life here. I feel a little bit of juice in this team. Juan Soto coming out, hugging Benj. There's clearly this Soto leader factor with Lindor out. Maybe that's playing a factor. They do need Lindor back because they need that bat. No timetable yet for his return. But let's see what the Mets can overcome all these injuries. The schedule this week is easy enough. You should be able to win. You should be able to go 5-2 on this 7-game trip. Go get the job done. Keep it going. But great job, Subway Series. Fun weekend at the ballpark. Great seeing everyone. And we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Mets Daily.